The night was unusually quiet, the kind of stillness that makes you feel like the world is holding its breath. I was walking home from work, my footsteps echoing softly against the empty streets. The moon hung low, casting an eerie silver glow over the city. That's when I saw her. At first, I thought she was just another person, maybe someone lost or in trouble. But as I got closer, I realized something was off. Her skin had a faint, iridescent shimmer, like the surface of a soap bubble. Her hair, long and silvery, seemed to float around her as if gravity didn't quite apply. And her eyes were pools of liquid gold, glowing faintly in the dark. Before I could react, she stumbled toward me, her movements unsteady. She collapsed into my arms, her body trembling. I caught her instinctively, my heart racing. She was lighter than she looked, almost weightless, and her skin was cool to the touch. "Please," she whispered, her voice melodic but strained. "Help me." I didn't know what to do. My mind raced with questions. Who was she? Where had she come from? But there was no time for answers. She clung to me, her fingers digging into my shoulders, and began to weep. Her tears were unlike anything I'd ever seen. Tiny, glowing orbs that evaporated into the air like fireflies. "I'm sorry," she sobbed. "I didn't mean to. I didn't know." I held her tighter, my instincts overriding my confusion. "It's okay," I said, though I had no idea if it was. "I'll help you. Just tell me what's wrong." She pulled back slightly, her golden eyes searching mine. "You don't understand," she said, her voice breaking. I'm not what you think I am." Before I could respond, a low hum filled the air, growing louder by the second. I looked up and saw a massive, sleek ship descending from the sky, its surface reflecting the moonlight like polished obsidian. My breath caught in my throat. This wasn't a plane or a helicopter. It was something else entirely. The alien woman, because that's what she had to be, gripped my arm tightly. "They're coming for me," she said, her voice trembling. "But I can't go back. Not after what I've done." "What have you done?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She hesitated, her gaze dropping to the ground. I was sent here to observe your kind, to study you, but I broke the rules. I interfered." "Interfered? How?" She looked up at me, her eyes filled with guilt. "I saved a life. A child. She was going to die, and I couldn't let that happen. But by saving her, I altered the course of your history. And now, they're coming to erase everything." My mind reeled. This couldn't be real. It had to be some kind of dream or hallucination. But the ship was there, hovering above us, its presence undeniable. And the woman in my arms, her tears, her fear, it all felt too real to dismiss. "What do they want?" I asked, my voice shaking. "They want to undo what I've done," she said. "They'll erase the child's life and anyone who knows about it, including you." A chill ran down my spine. "Including me?" She nodded, her expression pained. "I'm so sorry. I never meant to put you in danger. But I couldn't let her die. She's important. More important than you can imagine." Before I could ask what she meant, a beam of light shot down from the ship, illuminating the space around us. The woman pulled away from me, her body glowing faintly as if in response to the light. "Go," she said, her voice urgent. "Run. They can't find you." "I'm not leaving you," I said, though every fiber of my being was screaming at me to do just that. She shook her head. "You don't understand. If they find you, they'll erase you. They'll erase everything. Please, just go." I hesitated, torn between self-preservation and the strange connection I felt to this alien woman. But the decision was made for me. The beam of light intensified, and I was thrown backward, landing hard on the pavement. When I looked up, she was gone, and the ship was ascending rapidly into the sky. I scrambled to my feet, my heart pounding. What had just happened? Was any of it real? I looked around, but the street was empty, as if nothing had occurred. But I knew better. I had seen her. I had held her. And now she was gone. Over the next few days, I tried to make sense of what had happened. I searched for any news of strange occurrences or UFO sightings, but there was nothing. It was as if the entire event had been erased from existence. But I couldn't forget. Her face, her tears, her words, they haunted me. Then, one evening I saw her again. I was sitting in my apartment, staring out the window, when I noticed a faint glow outside. I rushed to the window and saw her standing there, her silver hair shimmering in the moonlight. She looked different, paler, weaker, as if she were fading away. I ran outside, my heart in my throat. "You're back," I said, my voice trembling. She nodded, but her expression was grim. "I don't have much time," she said. "They're coming for me again, but I had to see you one last time." "Why?" I asked, my voice breaking. "Why did you come back?" She reached out and touched my face, her hand cold but gentle. "Because you deserve to know the truth," she said. "The child I saved, she's your daughter." I stared at her, my mind struggling to process her words. "My daughter? But I don't have a daughter." "Not yet," she said. "But you will. And she'll change everything. She'll bring peace to your world, but only if she lives. That's why I couldn't let her die. That's why I broke the rules." Tears welled in my eyes as the weight of her words sank in. But what about you? What will happen to you?" She smiled faintly, her golden eyes filled with sorrow. "I'll be erased," she said. "But it's worth it. For her. For you." Before I could respond, the hum returned, louder and more intense than before. The ship appeared in the sky, its beam of light descending rapidly. The woman stepped back, her body beginning to dissolve into light. "Wait," I cried, reaching out for her. But it was too late. She was gone, her form scattering into the air like stardust. I fell to my knees, tears streaming down my face. The ship disappeared into the night, leaving me alone with the truth. The truth that shattered everything I thought I knew. Years passed, and life went on. I met someone, fell in love, and started a family. And when my daughter was born, I held her in my arms and knew that the alien woman had been right. She was special. She was important. But I never forgot the woman who had saved her. The woman who had given up everything to ensure that my daughter would live. And though I never saw her again, I like to think that somewhere, in some other reality, she's still out there, watching over us. Because sometimes the truth is more than we can bear. But it's also the only thing that can set us free.